Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you are new here, then welcome. I'm JongWildAndFree, and on this channel I love sharing my Sims 4 build creations that I make into different types of speed builds. If this is something you like to watch, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also click the notification bell so you will get notified whenever I post something new. Now, as for today's speed build, I tried making a family home with the new items that came with Realm of Magic. I really wanted to keep this build base game plus the new pack only, so most of you could actually use it as well if you do not own any much more other packs or just a few of them. Instead of me guessing which packs that might be, I just kept it the base game and that one pack, or the Realm of Magic pack. But that also meant it became a bit of a challenge for me to actually furnish it nicely and make everything kind of match, since the choice of furniture and decorations was much more limited than when I used all my packs that I have installed. I'm also not sure how much I'm gonna be able to build with the new items, since they are kind of specific to a certain style, and I already miss building my own a bit more modern looking family homes. At least they are more modern than the interior of this house. It's kind of a bit Victorian styled, or I don't know. I did still love all the new items though. My biggest obsession is the new bassinet for babies. That is also why I had to make a nursery in this house. Nurseries are kind of my favorite rooms to build, even though the babies are the most useless stage in The Sims 4. I do always love making rooms for them, or at least make it a nice looking stage. But it is always a sad that we didn't really have too many, or don't have too many items for any babies or anything. And another thing that always bothered me was, of course, that there weren't really nice bassinets to choose from. I myself would probably like it even better if we had cribs, the more solid types. That's kind of what I would have chosen personally in real life. I don't really like the bassinets, but okay. If the game only works with bassinets, then I'm still happy to see that they make some more of them, at least sometimes. And I'm really glad to see that this one actually came in a fully white swatch as well. And it didn't have anything strange or witch-like, I think. The one that came with vampires had this strange bed hanging above it or something, so I never really used that crib or bassinet in any builds. I am even not sure if it came in the fully white swatch. And then of course you have the alien one that came with Get Together. Like Get to Work, I mean, of course. And that one is of course alien-like, so again not fully white and even more strange looking than the vampire one. So to actually have an replacement for the bassinets that I usually use in my nurseries, I really love the white classical one that came with this pack. Again, it doesn't really fit any modern house, since it is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of made out of lace, so I would say it fits more the traditional family homes to the more old-fashioned family homes, or the rich kind like these. As for the rest of the items that came with this pack, there are of course a lot more cool items that I love with it. Of course, like the windows and doors that are just gorgeous. And what I also like are all the wands and brooms that make this build even more right for a witching family. Like I said, I'm not sure how much more I will build with this, or in this area actually. The area itself is of course beautiful. Maybe I choose to change up the style totally if I struggle a lot with the items that did came with this pack, and just build my traditional hut homes or family homes or anything like that. But I want to try at least, or give it another try at least, and try to build a starter home in this area, and one family home where I use just any pack I have, and without any budget of course, so I could go a bit more wild with it. I did already kind of go quite wild with this one, especially with the landscaping, I think. I mean, I found a lot of items in the debug categories, or like the debug plants that came with this pack. And I really wanted to make it overgrown, so yeah. But for the rest, I might save all the witchy styles besides those 2 homes. That I might even not make too creepy, but anything more creepy than that, I am definitely gonna save up for Halloween. I mean, I like best to just build all year round houses that don't need any specific holiday or season, but still, if I do want to make something creepy, I might as well save it to Halloween, since we are closing into that really quickly as well. As for this house, I didn't really have a background story or any source of inspiration while building this. It kind of just came to be like this while I was building and trying to use all the new items as much as possible, or at least use every item at least one time. All I knew before I started building is that I wanted to be, like I said, a bit overgrown in the nature, but still have a bit of a unique color scheme. I was really looking forward to make it a bit of a colorful build, but I really struggle with that kind of. I don't know. I just can't get myself to do it, to make it only bright colors. So I chose to make it black with white with purple, and that kind of matched the new windows, of course, which I mostly used in the black swatch with the purple, I don't know, engraved windows. I don't know what to call it. I forgot. I know it's somewhere, but I forgot it right now. Again, it's not really something I usually would go for, but it was nice to give it a try. I really wanted to be a bit more crazy with this build, especially with the roof. I played a lot with the roof, and I even if you click on the roofs and you use Shift C, I think, you get even more options to kind of bold and curve the roofs. And I really kind of tried playing around with that, since this kind of seemed like the right house to do so, since it wasn't meant to be perfect but a bit strange instead. So yeah, hopefully I accomplished it, and you feel like that as well when you see this build. As for the inside, I kind of base it off, of course, of the furniture that came with this pack, and also the wallpapers. And yeah, that kind of made, of course, the interior very old-fashioned, or maybe even Victorian. Like I said, that's at least the vibe it gave me, the style, I mean. I did actually not use the new flooring though, besides of what I used in this witch's hut and some of the outside patios. The stone, that one I did use, stone flooring, but I couldn't simply find, or the wooden flooring, it was a bit much for me. Together with the wallpaper at least. There was just too much print going on, and I was working with such an open floor plan that I just couldn't find any good use for it. It might have looked good in the kitchen, but yeah, I didn't really place it there either. I forgot about it eventually. So I just used a base game flooring instead, a simple one, since the wallpapers are already quite busy. And I do love the new flooring though, but I kind of need to find some better use for it next time. And we didn't get any tiles, unfortunately. Not when it comes to floor tiles, at least. We did get the new wall tiles as well, but neither the one in Realm of Magic nor the base game update did we get any matching floor tiles, which is also always a bit sad, of course, but yeah. But I was able to find at least a base game tile that kind of matched it enough, at least. I'm still a bit sad that we didn't have the matching one, but it's okay. As for who I think lives in this house, I kind of thought of 2 spellcaster parents. Then there is one teen boy. I don't remember which age or life stage in the Sims people can become, or your Sims can become spellcasters. So in this case, a teen boy that maybe isn't a spellcaster yet, and then you have the girl child, and of course a baby. I don't think the nursery is any specific gender, but I kind of had a boy in mind. Oh, and I was also thinking they might have some black cats, but then I remembered that it is from a wrong pack, so I did not place any pet items, of course, because then I would have failed by keeping this base game and Realm of Magic only. So yeah, if you want any pets in this house, you have to place those items yourselves, but I kind of find it perfect to have black cats in this home. I did then again place some of those new orb crystals around the place though, so some of your Sims can have a familiar, I think they were called. So that's kind of the next best thing for a pet if you don't have cats and dogs. Or my first pet stuff. I mean, I'm guessing you have my first pet stuff if you have cats and dogs, or if you have my first pet stuff if you have cats and dogs. But then again, you can just buy my first pet stuff all by itself and enjoy the furniture that came with that pack, and of course the hamsters and rats. A rat could have been really nice as well in this home. I mean, the cage is a bit colorful and modern, but the fact that it is a rat is kind of funny. Further, I did of course keep this house quite old-fashioned, as the style of the furniture kind of intended to be. I was kind of thinking of the witches and wizards of Harry Potter. They all kind of lived in this old-fashioned way without TVs and stuff. So now I do think that story does take time, or does take place in a different time. Than still the Muggles have TVs, but the wizards don't. So I kind of thought about that while building or furnishing this house too. So I did place a radio, so you could listen to some music, but I did not place any TVs. But then again, I gave the teen boy a laptop. I kind of thought he might need it to study in the Muggle world. Further, did I also place some more activities as well, or other activities. There is a reading nook upstairs. There are a lot of fireplaces around the place, so you could always find a cozy spot to sit and read anyway. I placed more than enough bookcases around the place, and I think in the end I did forget to actually place a chess table, even though I really did want to place one. I tried placing one outside, but I couldn't find a nice spot for it, and after that I kind of forgot about it, so that's a bit sad. But I did remember that we have grand pianos in the base game, so the living room has one. And further, I did play some of the broomsticks, so you will see me throughout the video pluck out some room builds that I have in my own library, where I saved a lot of different debug items, and some of the items are from the Realm of Magic, like the broomsticks that I placed in the hallway, and all the kinds of stuff like orbs or whatever those crystals are called, and the wands. I have those all in separate rooms in my library just to make it easy for me to find them back. But yeah, the broomsticks in the hallway are kind of meant for each family member besides the baby, of course, because the baby can't fly a broomstick, I think, at least, I hope. The kids' ones are kind of on the left side. The girl one has the more old-fashioned broom that is pink. I thought it was kind of a trainee broomstick, and then her brother's broomstick is right next to it, and then the parrots ones are on the right side. And I kind of imagined that the dad had the rocket one. So yeah, I tried playing around a bit with that. As for the outside, on the backyard or the back patio, I did place an extra dining table near the grill. And on that patio I also placed some planter boxes. I kind of filled them up with the fake debug mushrooms from the game pack. So you might need to remove those if you want your Sims to plant there. I mean, I guess they are kind of not see-through, but I don't think they block your Sims. It's just that it will look a bit strange if you start growing herbs right in the middle of a mushroom. And the same kind of counts with the planter boxes that I placed in the witch hut, I kind of imagined that the witch hut was kind of a greenhouse, but I didn't really like the glass roof on there, so it's just a hut with some planters in front of some nice big windows. But yeah, I filled those up with some small mushrooms as well. So yeah, if you want to really use them for only herbs or plants or whatever you might need for potions, you could remove those as well. And this hut is also kind of built in a strange way too. I kind of built it on the 3rd floor and then removed all other floors beneath it, like you might have seen in the beginning of the video, and I kind of dragged it down so it looked like it was on the main floor, but yeah, it is actually a 3rd floor if you want to look in it while playing. The only reason I did that for is because I wanted those walls to be the smallest size, but since the 1st and 2nd floor of this house were made with medium high walls, I could not use small walls unless it was kind of on the 3rd floor or 4th floor, since those walls didn't really interact with any windows that needed the medium height or anything bigger. Of course, the hut does still work. I placed the stairs, so technically it is accessible for your Sims. The only downside is that the hut isn't really visible when you are playing on the 2nd floor or 1st floor. So with that, I do really hope it could be possible in the future to have separate buildings on one lot that have different wall heights. It still seems a bit strange to me that we cannot do that in game. I mean, I totally understand the fact that those 2 separate buildings wouldn't be able to connect if they have different heights of walls. But it would be look so much better when you could build 2 separate buildings with the separate height. Because like this, the separate hut, it was too small to have such high walls. The same I kind of find with greenhouses and garages. Even though my entire house could be with bigger walls than the smallest size, so medium or high, most times it looks kind of best that those smaller buildings have the smallest walls, but then yeah, you kind of crashes with the rest of the house if you want to use bigger windows or bigger walls on the rest of the house. But yeah, so that's kind of why I did it this way, to kind of cheat it a tiny bit, but it is still functional, so yeah, just a bit annoying. Now, if you do not like it this way, of course, of how this hut works, that you have to go all the way up to the 3rd floor to be able to see it, you could always place it back on the ground floor. And the way to do that would be to first make sure that you have bb.move optics on, since all my builds are kind of built with that cheat on, and I have definitely placed some stuff that crashes with together. So yeah, then you might need to remove a wall by the door, just one with the sledgehammer, just to make sure that the inside and the outside patio kind of become one big room, or pretend it is one big room. I mean, there are missing some walls, of course, but then you can kind of pick it up totally, and when you don't need to move it, just push the move button that pops up when you select the room, and place it right back. I'm pretty sure it then kind of just clicks it right back to the ground floor and kind of becomes the 1st floor instead of 3rd. But yeah, and then lastly you have to kind of move the roofing back in place, of course. If the roofing did disappear on you while doing this, that might happen, I didn't think that through, but if it does, then you might to kind of just either undo it back to the point where you were about to move the room, or if you are listening to this before you did that mistake, then maybe you could remove the roof to another spot in the lot, preferably maybe on the top of the house. I'm guessing you have enough room there, maybe there might be enough room in the driveway, I'm not sure. But if you get it out of the way first, so it won't crash with the room that you're about to move, then nothing should get removed. Since the game doesn't allow us to do split leveling, that kind of sometimes does crash a tiny bit. But yeah, if you then, of course, do the steps that I mentioned before and place the roof or the room back on the ground floor, and yeah, then it should all be okay. Move back the roof to its original spot, and you should have your hut on the ground floor. Of course, if you have done it this way, this is kind of up to you if you want to give this little hut a little foundation. I recommend you give it at least a tiny bit, so you might need to place new stairs as well. And of course remember to build back that one wall that you removed earlier on, just so the inside becomes an inside again. Do keep in mind that with this progress the walls will become taller again, just as the main floor is, so it might look a bit strange now, but I don't know. It's kind of up to you what you think about it. You could just renovate it a tiny bit, or fully if you want it to be something else. And of course I hope that made any sense to you. Of course, it's kind of the best I could do. I really wanted to have smaller walls on that room, and this is the best I could think of, so yeah. And my English isn't the best, so, and explaining things isn't a strong suit for me either, so yeah, sorry. But with that said, I do think that I've mentioned all I have to say about this build, and I hope to find some more inspiration, like I said, to build a build or two more in this style or in this area, maybe in a different style. Definitely keep it a bit old-fashioned, since the furniture pieces are like that. But after build or two, I'm probably just gonna build more of my, muggle-like builds, just because I love building them as of right now, and they really inspire me, and I do kind of already miss them, so yeah. If you do have any requests, you can always let me know. It doesn't really matter if it's this pack or anything else, but you could request them by either commenting on any of my videos, or contacting me on Twitter or Instagram, or responding to any posts I place on those social medias as well. You could technically also contact me through the gallery by either commenting on my main page, I think, or on a build, but trying to overlook all the builds is a bit harder, so at least keep it to my main page if you really have a request. But the easiest way is probably the social medias. For now, if you do want to download this build, you can find it under my username JongWildAndFree on the gallery, or under the hashtag JongWildAndFree. And always remember to have move objects on before placing any of my builds, because you don't want anything to get removed, I'm guessing. If you do want to re-upload any of my builds for any reason, I don't know, then you are technically allowed to, but please do not call it your own. And at least credit me by putting my name as a hashtag. That way I can find it back and see that you have re-uploaded it. Plus I am always kind of curious to see what you've done with the place anyway, so yeah, please do tag me. I do hope you still like this build and enjoyed this video, and if you did, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more of my creations, you can always subscribe to this channel or follow me on Twitter and Instagram. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I do hope I see you next time. Bye bye!
We're up the moonlight, believe in the magic. On side, we'll make it feel just right. Just look at that bright light, believe in the magic. And we can save you from your past. This bond is always gonna last. When nothing else makes sense, just dance. What you gonna do? We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Baby, you got me. Believe in the magic. We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Baby, you got me. Believe in the magic. Baby, you got me. Slow ride, just you in that baseline. We're way past sunshine. Believe in the magic. Alright, step into the moonlight. Get into that good time. Believe in in the magic, and it can save you from your past. This bond is always gonna last. When nothing else makes sense, just stay. Yeah. What you gonna do? We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Maybe you got me. Believe in the magic. We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Maybe you got me. Believe in the magic. Maybe you got me. Maybe you got me. We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Baby, you got me. We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Baby, you got me. Believe in the magic. We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Baby, you got me. Believe in the magic. We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Baby, you got me. Believe in the magic. We're doing it all. The feeling is so right. Baby, you got me. Believe in the magic. I believe it. Maybe you got me. Believe in the magic. Yeah. Maybe you got me. Believe in the magic.
I know I let you down. I made the same mistake. I am the worrying kind, resting my life away. Be here, you know I really want you to stay. Later, when you then go, you will somehow still remain. Remember the time I told you the way that I felt, that I'd be lost without you and never find myself. Patience, let's do the numbers before we judge. Someday, all of this mess will only make us laugh. So find me at the rainbow's end, and we climb right up to the top again. Champagne on a Tuesday end. When I'm with you, the weekend never ends. It's silly, but sometimes I can feel your lips on mine. Lovers be lost, but we will stay on a solid ground. This time, it is for real in another way. Will you be my only and dearest every day? So find me at the rainbow's end, and we climb right that you want to be mine.